morning, friends. Welcome to Penny Lake Pond. This is the Penny Lake Pond and Spring Lake Loop Trail here in someplace, Illinois. Again, you can see my planning is extensive. It's not. It's really not. I just picked this spot on the map and we're gonna go for a hike. It's about a 5-mile loop, actually two separate loops with a connecting trail. So we're just gonna hike around, look around, and see what we can find today. It's not quite as secluded an area as I thought it was. There's a mall about 3/4 of a mile down the street, so something to do when I'm done here, I guess. But we got lots of trees, we've got a little pond, we've even got a little bit of ice on the surface of the pond, so this could be a good, fun day. We're gonna look forward to it. We're just gonna go into these trees and we're gonna hug a tree and we're gonna have a good day. So come along with me and let's go see what we can find. Come on, windy. Stop being so windy. Patience. Patience is gonna be my friend in this shot. I'm not even really sure this shot's gonna work. Come on. Ooh, I maybe got it right there. But I've got this weed thing. I'm not sure what it is. I really need to get better at my plant identification if I'm gonna do this, right? So many things I need to learn. But I don't know, this is interesting. It's just really, really cool. It's just it's stick season, so everything's kind of dying off. And this plant coming up, its little leaves and flowers are just kind of fuzzed out and they're catching the light behind it coming in. Kind of this nice golden highlighty. I've gotten up high, kind of shooting down on it to get my little flower guy below the horizon. Shooting at an f8 1/2000th of a second ISO 100. And just waiting for the wind to settle down and get this thing. I've got horizon in the background, this golden glow of fuzz plant just below the horizon, trees in the background, and then just blue sky with that gradient of the sun coming through. So it's just kind of going from this white to this blue. I think this will probably end up being a square crop if I like it, but this is an experiment. This is my warm-up shot for today. This is the one I chose to take the camera out of the bag and get going and get started. So I'll show you here what we're looking at if we can. Here it is. Here's my little gold, whatever this guy is. And you can see background, just this open field horizon. And the reason to keep this guy below that horizon is to kind of make it pop off up against all that darkness behind it. And it just kind of helps pop that backlit feature of this little plant. Shooting at 2,000th of a second because the sun is shooting directly into my lens, and I also want to freeze this guy. The wind is moving around, it's moving it, so it's really just kind of waiting for it to be still and then grabbing the shot, which right now I think we got it. Here's another shot. I think it works. I'm kind of struggling. I'm not sure that the two shots I've taken today so far, I'm not sure that either of them have really worked just yet. But we're out here trying, and that's the most important part. This one's kind of fun. This is just sort of an upside down heart-shaped knot hole in this fallen over tree, and it's just got this crack right up the center that just kind of goes up, and I just like the curving nature of the bark in here. The light is a little harsh, I'm not gonna lie about that, but it's an interesting shot, shooting at an ISO 100, f14 1/50th of a second, about a third of a stop underexposed to try to control all those highlights from the bright white bark of this tree. I'll show you here what we're looking at, and you can see it. I just got this great little heart-shaped hole right there, and I love this little crack that just comes right up from the middle of it. That's probably really what drew me into that, was that sort of upside down flaming heart kind of feel to it. And that's the shot. A little difficult to frame it up. I'm having some trouble filling the frame with this without being some goofiness on the side. I tried in tight wide, a little too much on the side, so I backed up and zoomed in with my telephoto, shooting at 200 millimeters right now. I think this one works better. It's better to fill this frame, get a little more in focus, and have more of the tree trunk in the frame and let the background fall into darkness rather than fuzzy woods. So I think this works a little bit better in that regard. But that's a shot. One image should do it for this one. Like I said, ISO 100, f14, 1/100th of a second. Simple shot, and I'm hoping it works. So my light's starting to fade here a little bit. This is kind of a fun little shot. Just walking through this field, feeling a little down, little uninspired, not having a little trouble finding any shots. Then we came across this big oak tree that is just sitting here in the middle of this field, right here behind me. That big guy right there, and I love it. So. What I like about this one is, again, the backlit grasses, these golden grasses that are going on. So I zoomed in kind of tight to the bottom of the trunk of this tree to eliminate the sky, really. There's not any interest in that sky. It's pretty just straight blue clouds, or cloudless, really. That's what those are the words I'm looking for, cloudless sky. So this one's more about the base of the tree. A couple of different little compositions on it. I'm doing one where I tilt up and get some of the branches that are sprawling out. Not too much though, because again, including that sky, which I don't like. I don't want it in there. This one's more about these grasses and this single mighty oak tree just sprouting up from the middle. Really love it. Shooting this at an ISO 100, f14, 1/20th of a second. I'll show you what we're looking at on the back of the camera here. You can see it. Here, as you can see, just all my grasses here, and this one single mighty oak trunk just standing there, strong and stout in the middle of the field. There's lots of other little trees around it, but I'm excluding them to just get this one main character standing out there in my field. I really like this shot. Pretty simple. Found a shot. I was beginning to think I wasn't going to find any more shots. We've completed the small loop. We've hit the connection trail. I'm on the last 3/4 of the large loop. And I've shot, I don't know, 3 images so far today, and I may be like one of them. Struggling today. It's just kind of it's not coming to me, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's the weather or my mood or the conditions, or I feel like I've shot all this before. Whatever it is, I'm just not finding the shots today. But this one, I like this one. I've got this tree trunk that is just cracked in half, has clearly been on fire because we've got some really dark scorched bark on it, and then we got a nice little bit of bark that's still attached to it, and fallen in the little crevice is this little oak leaf that's just stuck down there. So I've got the contrast between this new fresh bark and the burnt bark, and then just that brown leaf that's stuck down in the corner. That's the shot. I'll show it to you here real quick on the camera. There we go. You can see my little leaf right there. Got my new fresh bark, my unscathed bark here. And we've got all this dark contrasting black over there. And you'll notice up here at this top right of the corner, it's really kind of white and blown out. I'm having to shade my lens. I'm having to kind of come in with my hand and block that light. We're getting a little bit of a lens flare because the sun's right over there. Come in here and just block that lens, kind of evens out that exposure, helps that out. Shooting this whole thing at an ISO 100 f14 8/10 of a second, focused on that leaf to start. Block off that lens, keep that flare from that top right corner. That's the shot. Shooting this in tight 35 millimeters wide angle, fill the frame. I like it. Just a nice little simple woodland scene, a little reclamation. That's not the word I'm looking for. Pretty. It's pretty. It's contrasty. And that's kind of what today is, I think, is contrasty. This light is harsh, and the shadows and the highlights are at odds with each other. So I think that's part of what's made it tricky. But here's one little shot. Happy with. Let's keep on going down the trail and see what else we can find. Thanks, little tree. Sorry, little tree. Well, friends, I think we're going to call it a day today. I have to admit, I don't think the photography was all that inspiring today. I don't know why. I've got a million excuses, but they're just that. They're just excuses. I have shot in these conditions and in parks like this 1,000 times before and walked away with some pretty good stuff, but today it just wasn't in the cards. And that's the way it goes sometimes. Not every outing is successful. Certainly not every photograph is successful. But I did still have a really good day out here and hiking, and I enjoyed that. I was outside and got a good 5-mile hike in and enjoyed my morning out here at Penny Road Pond. It was fabulous. I just have to go ahead and chalk today up to a bad day of photography equals a good day of hiking. And that's all there is to that. And I want to thank you for coming along with me. Please give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you would like to see more. And tell your friends, because the more the merrier. And if you would like to see some of my more inspired work, please check out toddhphoto.com. Over there you'll see the images I have been taking over the years. And while you're there, I'd appreciate it if you signed up for my mailing list there. I just mail out my blog once a month. It has an image in there, a little story to go along with it. And that's all there is to it. So, from Penny Road Pond, here in someplace, Illinois, so long, and we'll see you next time.